You're in a grocery store. A stranger walks by, and your baby locks eyes with them, unblinking, intense, completely focused, in a way that makes both you and the stranger slightly uncomfortable. But here's what's actually happening in that moment. Your baby isn't being rude. They're running one of the most sophisticated cognitive programs in the known universe. And what they're building during that stare will shape who they become for the rest of their life. Welcome back, or if you're new here, this channel breaks down child development science into practical insights for parents. Today, the extraordinary neuroscience behind your baby's stare. From the moment they're born, babies are wired to prioritize faces above almost everything else in their visual environment. But not all faces equally. New research published in 2025 at the University of Essex found that as early as 4 months, infants show measurably different brain responses to a stranger's face compared to their mother's, with the stranger's face actually triggering greater neural activity in regions associated with visual processing and attention. Why? Because the stranger's face is a puzzle the brain hasn't solved yet. It doesn't match any known template. And a baby's brain, which is essentially a survival machine in its earliest form, treats an unrecognized face as high-priority data that needs to be processed immediately. Babies also don't start with full visual resolution. In the early weeks, they're drawn specifically to high-contrast features: the dark line of a hairline against skin, the whites of eyes, the outline of a mouth. They're not seeing a face the way you do. They're mapping a set of high-contrast landmarks, building a visual template they can recognize and compare against in the future. Here's where it gets really fascinating. Neuroscientists describe the brain, even an infant brain, as a prediction machine. At every waking moment, it is subconsciously comparing what it sees against a library of known patterns, asking, "Does this match something I already know?" When your baby sees your face, the prediction machine gets a match. Familiar, safe, expected. The brain can relax. But a stranger's face? No match. The brain registers what scientists call cognitive friction, a kind of productive tension between what it expected and what it's seeing. And that friction is not a problem. It's fuel. It drives the brain to look longer, process deeper, and ultimately update its internal model of the world. Research from 2025 tracking infant gaze patterns confirmed that novelty, specifically the novelty of a stranger, triggers significantly more sustained fixation than familiar faces. Your baby isn't staring because they're confused. They're staring because their brain has just identified a high-value learning opportunity, and it is not letting go until it has extracted every piece of useful data. What is the brain actually doing with all that data it's collecting? Developmental psychologists have found that between 3 and 9 months, babies build what you might think of as a mental categorization library, a filing system for human faces organized by age, gender, emotional expression, and ethnic features. There's a well-documented phenomenon called the other race effect, where infants at 3 months can distinguish faces from any ethnic background with equal accuracy. But by 9 months, they become specialized, showing stronger recognition for the racial groups most represented in their environment. This isn't bias forming, It's the brain becoming efficient. It learns to invest the most processing power where it gets the most return. Every prolonged stare at a stranger is a data collection session. The baby is filing away. How old does this person appear? What is their emotional expression? Does their face signal safety or threat? Are they familiar enough to approach or unfamiliar enough to be cautious about? This is not passive observation. This is active, sophisticated cognitive architecture being built in real time, one stare at a time. But the stare isn't just building a face database. It's building something far more profound. As your baby tracks a stranger's micro-expressions, the slight tension around their eyes, the curve of their mouth, the furrow of a brow, they are learning the universal language of human emotion. Before they have a single word, they are becoming fluent in faces. Neuroscientists believe this early visual fixation on human faces plays a critical role in the development of mirror neurons, the brain cells responsible for empathy, imitation, and social bonding. Every face your baby studies is training those neurons. Every expression they observe is being stored as an emotional reference point they will draw on for the rest of their life. Research tracking infants longitudinally has found that babies who show stronger, more sustained attention to faces in the first year demonstrate measurably higher social competence by age 3, more empathy, better emotional recognition, stronger relationship skills. The stare, it turns out, is the earliest form of social intelligence being assembled. And here's the final piece, and it's beautiful. Around 9 to 12 months, something shifts. The stare evolves. Instead of just fixing on the stranger, your baby begins to do something called social referencing. They look at the stranger, then look back at you, then look at the stranger again. They are checking your face for information. Is this person safe? Should I be curious or cautious? They're not just collecting data about the stranger anymore. They're learning to validate their observations against a trusted source. They're becoming a social architect, building a map of the world with you as their compass. Every one of those thousands of stares, at strangers in grocery stores, at faces on screens, at new visitors in your home, is a brick in the foundation of your child's capacity for deep human connection. What looks like an awkward moment in the cereal aisle is actually one of the most extraordinary cognitive workouts happening anywhere on Earth. So the next time your baby locks eyes with a stranger and refuses to look away, let them. Don't apologize. Don't redirect. That stare is their brain doing exactly what it's supposed to do. If this gave you a new way of seeing those moments, hit the like button and save this video. Drop a comment. How old is your baby and who do they stare at most? I'll see you in the next one.